All right, welcome back for a end of February 2025 algo update. So what I thought I would do, a little late to the 2025 party, but better late than never. What I thought I would do is just run the 2025 algo trade summary and update this approximately every month. Now, so this is what I've got here. This is the form it's currently taking. If this doesn't end up working, we'll just change it and update accordingly. We have unrealized and realized trades, as you can see, for each month. Now, the month of January, because not all of the algos were running, I'm just going to go ahead and squash that month and say 0 P&L. Now, my members know we were long the ES going into it. Stopped out and actually got a short that was, well, it was pretty good. It was probably, from memory, it was profitable from day one, and it went 5 full days. We just caught that very nicely. I don't really know anything else that we did in that time frame, but that was the exciting one, if you will. So there was money made there, but who cares? We're just calling January a 0 P&L, so no trades done. By the end of January, we definitely were hitting our full stride. So I'm just sticking the trades that we took on the end of January into February. And again, we have unrealized, so trades that are in the work, I'm going to do roughly their current P&L as of the end of the month, and then realized trades. So I'm just going to number the trades, give you the securities, if you care the direction, and any type of either unrealized P&L or realized P&L. So you can see so far, unrealized, there's 2 trades still on. A Bitcoin short, about $5,300. By the way, the starting amount was on a $100,000 portfolio. And as I had mentioned in the previous video, how you size these things is the size that I have given all of my Patreon members, but on a declining balance. So what that means is your first trade, you size it on 100,000. And if by chance that first trade could have a max loss, because we know the stop already of, let's just say, $10,000. All right, your second trade, regardless of what the first trade on is still on, regardless if it's up or down, you're sizing your second trade based off of 90. And you just keep going from there. So that's where we get the sizes from, and ultimately the P&L. So this isn't the details of that, of course. That's for my Patreon members. But we are tracking this, and my members could tell you this is pretty much bang on as to the percentage of their own portfolio. But I just did it on a $100,000 starting balance of a portfolio. So we currently have a Bitcoin short on, and it's currently up about $5,300. Now, here's the bastard about this one. I'm going to be brutal with my algo. I'm going to be absolutely brutal, brutally negative. So that trade we had teed up for a few days, and as it turns out, it was, and this was a short that we're going to go short once it dropped below a certain number. Matter of fact, that number was 93,500, I think it was, plus or minus $50. And it stopped, I closed the day at 94, and then a few hours later, because these are the futures, or an hour later, it opens and gaps down. So half the people are probably rightly gone home and living your life, not being stuck to the screen. I happen to be sitting here finishing up some stuff, and I noticed the futures opened back up and it gapped down. Now, no one is stupid enough just to do a sell stop with a market order. Thing gaps down 10 grand or something like that, and you're short it. Oops. I'm not saying you missed it, but you sure as hell missed something. So there's usually limit orders in for something like that. I hate it, but I probably still put a $500 wiggle room on that thing, and it gapped like $1,500 or whatever. So what I'm saying is, and then you'd have to chase it from there if you knew about it. So all I'm saying for everyone watching this, plus my members, I've taken into account that on this particular trade. So ideally, perfectly, had things worked properly and we traded through that price, this would be a lot bigger. But it's not. VIX short currently down 42.60. Some realized trades. We took an ES short, or sorry, long, and we come up short. And our gold trade. Here again, I'm being just a bastard, a brutal bastard for our algo. This trade is out 360, so you can call it a break-even trade, more or less. We had lots more money on that than this. And how do I say this? With our algos, I don't design every little wiggle niggle into our algorithm just because it's a pain in the ass to code and it's not needed. Once you see the algos working as is, if you can spot some obvious situations where you can improve it, I'm not interested in going back and coding for all these little things, but I can see them. You know them when you see them, is what I told my members. So we happen to get one of those on gold. You know it when you see it. So I had given them some instructions. So did we take more profit than this? Hell yeah. But that's all I'm writing down. Actually, I'm going to abuse this algorithm. If we come up at the end of the year with a handsome profit, which I am kind of assuming, it's going to be way better than that because I'm just being just a brutal bastard on my own algo here publicly. And that's good because this thing is more than good enough. I can be a bit of a cock and it'll still be fine. So that's why I'm doing it. Just 100% sure that things are just completely, perfectly fine. So that is our February update. I managed not to say anything political, but yeah, let's just tack it in here at the end. February, what did we call that? Was it Tariff Tuesday or Tariff Thursday or tariffs on, Terrence on, tariffs off, Terrence back on again? 15%, 20, 25? I don't know. As Panama and Greenland fade back into the fabric because it wasn't a real thing, because this guy isn't a serious actor at all. Yeah. Was it Tariff February? Maybe. So what is March? I think you folks need to put some balance back into your politics. And by that I mean you have to make sure your representatives in Congress are more afraid of you than they are of the orange halfwit sitting in that seat. And that's clearly not the case. So I guess your Constitution, that thing you hold so dear to your heart, gave you the right to bear pillows, pencils, and keyboards. It must be. I've got no other reason. Because at that point, if all you're dealing with is pillows, pencils, and keyboards, why would any representative, any MAGA maggot, any MAGA moron fear the people? You're impotent. You're not worth considering. So why don't you folks kind of turn this crazy ship around, stop pointing it straight towards the rocks, and maybe get a little balance in your politics and start once again maybe instilling some sort of respect, some might call it fear, of the people into your representatives. Because let's understand this. These people are absolute cowards. There are a lot of things, but they're absolute cowards. Do you really think you have to instill fear and respect in every one of those for the rest of them to snap their heels together at attention? I don't think so. It doesn't work like that. So hey, if you've got nothing better to do for the month of March, why don't you try that? Okay, I'll see you when March wraps up. And what have you been staring at? Yes, of course, my Patreon page. Come check us out. See you there.